How's it going, guys? Boy in a Scanner here, back with another video. Today we're not going to be looking at the SDS100. We're going to be looking at another little gadget that I just picked up. We will be getting back to the SDS100, although I wanted to share this little gadget here with you guys because I think you'll find this really valuable if you like the SDS100. This kind of completes my scanning needs. Adding this to my little scanning arsenal. So this right here is the County Comm GP5 single sideband. It's the Generation 3 radio. It's obviously the flat black one. You can pick these up at County Comm. I went ahead and picked this up the other day. I was able to get a $10 off code using the plugin Honey on the browser. If you do not have Honey, it allows you to, it just automatically finds coupon codes when you're shopping online, and you can actually build up points as well and then redeem those for gift certificates for like Amazon and stuff. But this little radio I picked up for, I think it's $89.95 on the website. With the coupon I was able to pick it up for $79 plus like $4 shipping. It only took about 3 days to get here, so that was really extremely fast for me. I'm in Idaho. This came from California. So this little radio, it's an FM, it's kind of an HF radio in a sense that it does have shortwave and it does have single sideband here that you can utilize to listen to the ham bands. The frequency range on this thing is, so it's got FM, so 87 to 108, and it's got the Japanese FM as well, which is 76 to 108, and that's megahertz. It's also got Europe's FM range, which is 87.5 to 108. And then it's got medium wave as well, which is 522 to 1620 kilohertz, as well as 520 to 1710 kilohertz in the USA. It's got shortwave, like I mentioned, 1711 kilohertz to 29,999 kilohertz. So the sensitivity, you can check out this information right here on the back of the manual if you want to look and see the specs here. And then this is the little user manual that comes with it. The cool thing about this radio, I've heard it's similar to the Tecsun PL360, I believe, but these guys, you can hardly find that radio, and it comes from overseas, obviously. This one is actually stocked up and ready to ship here in California. They do use a DSP Si47 microchip from Silicon Labs that is close to their facility in Silicon Valley, USA here. You can see the diagram that they use for the digital signal processing. So they do some tweaks to this radio to make it a little bit better. I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I do not think the Tecsun has single sideband. So for the price point of this radio, to have that capability is extremely amazing. To have this little HF radio, you know, between this and the SDS100, we pretty much got all of our bands covered here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this little radio came with. It did come with, we'll just go ahead and sit that back here. It did come with a highly sensitive AM ferrite antenna. You can see that right here. And this just plugs in the top of the radio right there. It's directional, so you could sit there and listen and kind of move this around to get the best signal. This thing works amazing on medium wave on those AM stations. And then also it came with some headphones. And then it also came with a antenna right here. I can't remember how long this one is. It's about 10 or 15 feet long. But this has a, so basically how this works is you just pull the antenna out, and then it's got a little clip here that allows you to clip that right on there. And then you can string this up to a tree or something and use that clip. And you can pull in more frequencies that way. Obviously, shortwave is a lot better at nighttime. So this is another video that I wanted to do. I'll be just doing some scanning and showing you how this thing receives shortwave stations, and hopefully I could pick up some of the ham radio nets as well and share those. I really enjoy listening to ham radio, so being able to listen to the HF bands at this price point is pretty amazing. So that is basically everything that it came with here, and I'm going to go ahead and just turn it on. You'll notice right away you see the time, and then up here you'll see an alarm. That's just the standard display. You could also hit the display key and it'll show the temperature at the radio, obviously. So we'll just go ahead and power this on. And this is super simple radio to operate. It does have this ETM function here, and ETM is easy tuning mode. So all you have to do is, say we go to a FM station here and we go ahead and pull the antenna out. All we have to do is go ahead and hold this ETM key, and then you'll notice these numbers up here changing. Those are all the FM stations that it's saving automatically as it's scanning through the bands. So you can see this thing picks up stations amazingly. It's got really good reception. I'll just go ahead and kind of show you here, being careful not to get copyrighted. So now all you have to do after everything's done scanning, it's all saved. So you just use this tuning knob on the side, and it has a nice click to it.
Map of God's authority.
So you could go ahead and just click through the frequencies.
Guys, let's be honest.
You can hear how clear these stations are coming in.
Rather in terms of
Until you get a consensus.
and consistent throughout this entire
The opening team facility.
There's a lot of stations here that I don't pick up just on my normal, on a normal stereo.
attack anytime, anywhere.
From a distance.
So you can see just how many stations there are coming through. And I'm in a rural area of Idaho, so this is pretty good for me. Okay, now we'll go over to medium wave, and we'll just go ahead and do a scan. We'll go ahead and do a scan without the ferrite antenna, and then we'll go ahead and do a scan with the ferrite antenna and just see if it makes a difference. So you'll notice it has a lock key also, so you can just hold this display key and it'll lock the keys so you don't bump anything. If you want to do a manual scan, you can go ahead and do that right here, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, it looks like this is done, so let's see what we got.
There are lots of interruptions to daily life right now.
And not a ton of AM stations there. So let's go ahead and, what did we get here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations. So I'm just going to try to scan again with the ferrite antenna. You can hear how much of a difference that made. So there's without, and then there it is with the antenna. You can notice the decibels change up here as well. So you can see that helps a ton. So let's just scan through. Okay, now let's go ahead and do another ETM scan and see if we get some more. And obviously, medium wave and short waves do better in the evening and in the morning and throughout the night. Okay, let's see what we got now. So you can see how that adjusting that helps a little bit. And not too much on the medium wave bands right now. We'll head over to shortwave, and I'm not really going to do anything on shortwave right now. I'll save that for another video just because I don't think we'll have anything coming in right now. But we'll just head over to shortwave, and then we could just hit this key here. You can use the up and down arrows to go through the different bands. So I could hit the up arrow. Oh, we're on ETM. So let me come over to VF, VM. And now what I can do is actually just go through the bands here, and then I can tune from here. So if I'm clear down at the bottom here, I can go ahead and scroll around from there. If I do want to scan, I could go ahead any direction I turn this tuning wheel. So if I scroll up and I go ahead and hold this key, this VFVM key, it'll go ahead and start scanning. And the cool part about this is when it stops on a station, I can go ahead and just hit this memory key, and then it'll go ahead and save it into a preset, and then it'll continue scanning on. So you can just let this go, and anytime it stops on a station, I think it stops for 5 seconds, and then you can just go ahead and save it. If you want to do it that way. This works really good in the upper and lower sidebands if you're trying to find ham frequencies, because the ETM mode, I haven't figured out a way to scan, to set that up in the lower sideband and upper sideband modes to automatically program it. So for instance, if I was to just go ahead and stop the scan, if I go over to lower sideband, and I just want to make sure it's going up, so I scroll up and then I go ahead and hold this key, you'll notice it starts to scan in the lower sideband mode. So that is really handy. Another cool thing about this, when you're in lower or upper sideband, you can fine tune. So what I could do is actually hit this BFO key, and then you'll notice this up here, I can fine tune it positive all the way till it changes again, or I can go negative to fine tune it. So if you have a station that's not coming in very well, you could go ahead and change that. So for instance, if you were trying to listen to a ham net that was like on 4705.5, I would want to tune this to 4705, and then this up here would be your 0.5, so I would scroll up to 0.5, and that's how that works. The really cool thing about this radio is it does save that setting. It saves the fine-tuned setting, obviously, when you hit the memory key, so that is really nice. If I hit this key, I can either have it on manual tuning mode, or if I click it again, you'll notice presets. So these are where my presets are, and if I scroll with the tuning knob, it just goes through all my presets that I've saved. And at nighttime, these things have quite a bit of activity, so like I said, I'll probably do another video just showing some of my radios going. You know, let this one run for a little bit and just kind of show you it in action, basically. It's really hard to film a video and just hope that there is activity on a radio, so it does take a little bit of time when you're trying to do that stuff. So that is this radio kind of in a nutshell. If you have any questions about this thing, let me know. Really good little radio. I've really enjoyed this thing. It's nice that it has the headphone ports. So again, it comes with the headphones, this ferrite antenna, and it does come with this nice little neoprene case here. So I'll just go ahead and turn this thing off, and then we'll go ahead and slide it back in the case here. It fits nice and snug, and it's got a nice little belt loop here, and then obviously the manual as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and I'll be back with more videos on the SDS100. We have a lot to cover on that one moving forward, but I thought you guys would really enjoy this little radio. You can pick this up from County Comm if you want to check it out. Anyway, we'll talk to you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Take care.